Hello friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa String Works Workshop, but we're not talking musical instruments today. We're talking about my sawmill. I have done a 180 on that sawmill, and what I mean by that is I have completely flipped everything. Basically, I just went down the wrong path, and when you go down the wrong path, you just keep going down the wrong path and you build it wrong. Well, I mean, it basically worked. Everything really did work. I was reasonably happy with it. But, you know, as a lot of the viewers pointed out, I was pushing my blade through the log rather than pulling it through the log. And, you know, once you start down the path, then everything is backwards. Everything is. So I completely re-engineered the whole thing, took it completely apart, re-drilled all the holes, remounted everything. You know, everything that was on the left is now on the right and vice versa. I moved all the controls to one side, so in other words, my height adjustment control, the on-off switch, I mean, all the different things that you need to get to while you're running it now are all on one side. I added a water drip. I reversed those threads on the roller bearings that were coming loose in the first video. By the way, the first video was video number 168, and I'll put a link to that in the description. I really feel like it's just top-notch now. I even, in this video, and I'm not just saying this, I really had a dull blade in the saw, and it just cut fine. No waving or anything. One of the keys to that is I made myself a tool to level the blade so that the blade is cutting straight flat through the board. If you get that blade slightly down or slightly up, you're never going to cut good. And so I made myself something that attaches to the blade and I can measure down and get it perfectly level. That really made the difference. But anyway, I think you'll enjoy this. If you're into the sawmill thing, I think you'll see that I've got this one working just about perfect now. It cuts just about like glass. If you watched my first video, number 168 on this sawmill, you can tell that I have completely rebuilt the whole sawmill 180 degrees the opposite direction. I have turned everything around. The motor used to be on the other side, and I was basically pushing the blade through the log. Now I'm pulling it through the log. And I've added the water to it. I've reversed the threads on those roller bearings, those guide bearings that guide the saw blade through the log. I have reversed the threads on those and made them left-handed threads. So I've made a number of improvements. I've just about got my design settled, so before long I'll be putting the blade guards on there. The only other thing that I want to work on right now, there's still a little wiggle waggle from one side to the other. I did put a cross brace in there, but it's you have to watch where you put it because it'll get in the way of your log. And I also want to work on the raising of the whole carriage. Lowering the carriage is fine, but raising it seems very slow when you have to raise it the full height of a log. You can see here, I think, the cross grain pattern in here. You can see that cross checking. It's really pretty. Now this particular board, this had fallen down on my trail. And I thought, well, why not just go ahead and cut it up for wood? We can use it around the farm here, just, fences, barns, stalls, different things. It's not great wood, but it'll be good for just little things. I also wanted to show my adjustment here. I have this ruler stuck on here, this yardstick stuck on here with magnets, and I can slide it up and down. And you think, well, that's not very good. But the thing that's good about it is I can adjust it to the height here, and I don't have to calculate things in my head. And I can then just drop it down exactly 1 inch or raise it up exactly 1 inch. It's really nice. And close up of this clamp, I wanted to show you. This clamp right here, this is how it's made. You can see it's clamped to the, there's this board here that's left is probably less than 1.25 inches. I would say 1.125 board right here. And you can see that there's still clearance for the blade to go above it. So it really works out great the way this clamp works. On the other side, the clamp is just on a hinge. This is just a barn door hinge, and I drilled a hole through it and let that swing, and that's what grabs the clamp or grabs the pipe.